Can you do a
Hey
little video
Israel,
for me,
can you
please?
hear me? How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. What's up? Just a little
What's
video of
up,
me doing
man?
all this.
So Izzy, I know your coach is there. I have to ask you, we know you guys have been living at City Kickboxing. Your coach Eugene Behrman said out of everybody that you're the worst roommate. What's your response to that?
Well, I mean, he's a pretty shit roommate from all the years I've roomed with him in hotels. So there's a reason I don't room with him anymore in hotels. And while we've been at the gym, he's had his own little private office. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
All right, all right. You're coming up on a year of being UFC champion officially. How is it
hmm
everything you imagined it would be or different?
Um, yeah, it's everything I imagined it would be, and then some. But I'm just handling it day by day, moment by moment. I'm not taking anything uh for granted. I'm not taking anything lightly.
To a lot of people, this is a super fight. It wasn't too long ago when you were the spectator and you were watching a lot of these. What were some of your favorite super fights back when you were coming up?
Ooh, one that reminds me of this is Anderson versus Vitor Belfort. That in my head, it wasn't a super fight for most people, but for me, I thought that was gonna be a super fight. But yeah, that was one that I feel like this fight's gonna be similar to.
Is it just about the contrast of styles? Is it about the personalities? What is it for you that makes it just makes this one really pop in your opinion?
It's just the style and the look of it. Like I said, is this overly inflated balloon animal. It's just juiced up motherfucker. And then there's me, skinny little kid with some Bruce Lee moves. And I come in here, dust this guy up, and then it just looks sick as fuck.
We know you're on the cover of the game, but have you had a lot of time to play as yourself in the UFC 4?
I haven't played it myself. Yeah, I've played as Kamaru and I think Leon Edwards maybe, but I haven't had a chance to play it as myself because I've been busy. And also, Fall Guys has been fun, so that's a quick game I can play, and it's enjoyable.
Gotcha, gotcha. Final question. This fight obviously has a ton of people hyped. I'm assuming everybody wants to talk to you about it and bring it up. How do you tune that out so you could stay focused and just prepare for it just like you do every other fight without the extra distraction?
Experience. I've been doing this for a long time, so for me, it's same shit. I just come in, do my job, and I turn down all the extra noise of opinions that don't really matter.
All right, thank you, Izzy.
All good.
We will take the next questions from Christopher Reeve with the New Zealand Herald.
G'day, mate. Just a little bit on the camp. How has it been different for you this time around with you and the boys obviously living there? I know you spend so much time at the gym anyway. Like, has it been that much different?
Just no distractions to be honest. When we went down to level 3 lockdown, there's been no distractions, and that's been good for us. That's been good for the bond of the team, the morale, and the skill upgrades. So yeah, I think this 2 weeks that we had in lockdown was the catalyst for what's gonna happen come 26 September.
With the boys that were there with you, was there any
hmm
sort of, I guess, selection process with the guys you wanted in there with you
Yeah,
for preparing for this event?
yeah, definitely. But Eugene made those choices because he's the head coach and he knows best. I made some choices if I need to, but Eugene handled it and I trusted him with it.
Mhm. Obviously, a couple of weeks out now. What does that look like for you? When do you head over for the fight?
Just practicing patience. I'm just practicing patience because I can see the finish line in the horizon, and you can't blow your wad. You just have to keep doing. I've done this before, so my body knows exactly what to expect. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm just practicing patience.
Just lastly, from me, who's the best volleyball player in the gym?
Right now, Carlos is the MVP. If I'm being honest, Carlos is the MVP. If I'm being honest,
Sweet brother, thank you.
all good.
We will take our next questions from Mojang Wu with Hoopoo Sport.
Hi, Hey Long, how are you?
Hey, long ni hao ma.
你好，你好. I'm Tiger Brother from China.
Hey,
It's really a blast to have you here for this moment. So as you know, many of your Chinese fans, including me, started to follow you up ever since you fought kickboxing in China.
Yeah.
However, after UFC 248, many fans in China did not get satisfied with the way you beat Romero. So,
Hmm.
what would you react to this kind of a reaction? And do you think the last fight you bring out the best in you?
The last fight I brought my best, but my opponent brought something completely different, which is to his credit what he's supposed to do. But at the same time, you're supposed to fight, and he wasn't willing to fight. So I can't fight by myself. So yeah, the last fight was a bit of a you know weird one, but it is what it is. We move forward with this next fight.
Okay, so I saw you dyed your hair in pink, and it looked cute. And how
Hmm.
did you come up with that idea?
The idea to dye my hair pink, just I don't know, not really. It wasn't really a long thought process. I just felt I wanted to be pink, so I did it. I didn't really think it was going to be that big a deal and get people caught up in their feelings.
But now you cut out all your pink hair, and you said you are going back to the
Yeah,
old school style. Yeah, right. Does
yeah.
this move indicate that you have prepared a combat mentality before this fight is approaching?
Not really. No, I'm just doing it because I feel like the pink hair is abnormal, but I don't want to give. I'll explain why after the fight why I took the pink hair off because it was also because I dyed my hair a lot from being blonde bleached to pink. It's just not good for the hair. That's the first reason. But also I explained the reason why tactically after the fight.
Okay, I got a last question for you. So have you watched that latest video from Paulo Costa? He predicted the fight through
Mm,
a mocking manner. In that
uh,
video, yeah, Paulo Costa chased down his opponent and knocked him down with a left kick and raising up his hand, claimed the victory. So what would you react to his prediction? And do you think that kind of a mental warfare he brought up would impact you any prior to this fight?
no, it doesn't really bother me. He can make any kind of tapes he wants to make. I'm just gonna keep doing me as I always have.
All right, all right. So best wishes on you for this title fight, and you are a great champ. And I'm really looking
Awesome.
forward to meet you in person in
Ha
China.
ha ha. Shishia, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank
And tell
you.
my Chinese fans, why Jongo?
Okay, all right. Thank you. 谢谢黑龙。
Ha.
We will take the next questions from Gustavo Falden with ESPN Brazil.
Very well, man. What's up?
First of all, you said at the beginning of the interview that you thought that the hype from this fight, you against Costa, was similar to Anderson Silva versus Vitor Belfort. Why is that? In what aspect?
Not the hype. I'm talking about the look of this fight. You know, Vitor is a guy who's a marauder, who's a beast, who has a lot of good flurries as well, and just the style of the fight. I'm saying, just the look of it. And I'm a fan of both guys, Vitor Belfort and Anderson Silva. I came up watching them, but just saying the look of it is just what I see. That's what I feel.
And you're gonna be on the Anderson Silva side of the.
I'm gonna be on the Israel Adesanya side of the equation.
And what do you think that you and Paulo Costa nowadays, you guys have forged the biggest rivalry in the UFC with all the past trash talking, etc. The level that you guys are at.
No, really, no, I don't think so. I'm just enjoying myself, poking fun at the bear as he wallows away in his own fucking piece of shit. But yeah, let him do him, and I'm gonna keep doing me. I'm not bothered.
Throughout his career, Costa has always been accused of doping himself. What do you think
Hmm?
of that?
I think he is.
And does that worry you for the fight?
Okay, can you answer me a question? What happened to Romero's last fight with Uriah Hall? What happened?
I honestly don't remember. Sorry.
Okay, no, your Romero pulled out of his last fight with Uriah Hall, and I mean, unbeknownst to me, I thought it was just an injury reason, but it hasn't been stated that it was an injury. And there's yeah, I'll just leave that as allegedly, but some things are not being spoken for that should be spoken for, but no one's asking the right questions. I don't really like. It doesn't bother me. I beat Romero. If something comes out and he popped, I still beat him when he was juicing. So I said this about Costa. I'm gonna pop him before USADA does, and I plan on doing just that.
And what's the strategy to fight a guy like Costa?
Fuck him up.
Okay, appreciate it, Israel. Good luck on a fight.
My man. Thank you, sir.
We will take the next question from Clay Wilson with RNZ.
Izzy, how are you, mate?
What's up, man?
Hey, just wondering, especially coming off the back of what happened in the Romero fight, what does a potential victory represent to you in this fight?
Good question. What does a potential victory represent to me? For me, I just feel like Roy Jones Jr. when he said, "Y'all must have forgot," and this is only after one fight that this didn't live up to what I expected it to be, because I expected it to be a finisher. Yeah, I just feel like Roy Jones Jr. when he said that, "Y'all must have forgot."
What about in terms of the balance between wanting to get the win, but also I'm assuming, part of you wants to make something of a statement after that fight, or like you say, prove what you do have?
Nah, I just worry about just expressing myself, having fun. Winning just comes with that, to be honest. But I don't really worry about. I definitely want to win. Don't get me wrong. I love winning, but it doesn't like take most of the thought of my time. I think about expressing myself. Like, this is how I want to express myself in this fight. And when I do that, like I said, when I'm having fun, I'm the best in the world. So that's what I really focus on. I want to express myself and have fun.
And just lastly from me, obviously no one got what we expected from Romero in that fight. Do you think there's any chance that we don't all get what we expect from Costa in this fight in terms of what it as a fighter?
I don't think he's too dumb. He's perfect for me. He's gonna come forward swinging like a buffoon, and I'm gonna clown him because I am a clown, aren't I?
Cool, mate. All the best for the fight.
Sure, thank you.
We will take the next questions from Danny Segura with MMA Junkie.
How's it going? You've had a pretty, I guess, heated build up with Costa here. Obviously, both of you guys going back and forth. Would you say out of all your opponents in the UFC, you dislike him the most?
No, I don't think so.
By the way, what are you doing there? Are you like signing your medicals? If you don't mind me asking. Or posters?
Autographs for cards. So I've got like hundreds to do. So that's why I'm just multitasking. If you want to be the best in this game, you want to be that household name, this is the shit you have to do.
Of course. And, Costa here, another striker, and you're no stranger to taking on some of the best strikers in the UFC, Anderson Silva, Robert Whitaker. Where would you rank him among the strikers that you faced prior?
Bro, even in kickboxing, he's not one of the best. I faced way better strikers, so that's not even close. In the UFC, strike might be maybe I've had like how many fights? I don't know. He's definitely not the best fighter. I feel like Silva's a better striker than him. Whitaker is a different striker than him, but can be better. Yeah, he's definitely not the best striker I fought. He's dangerous though. That's one thing you have to remember. He's dangerous. But he has to remember, so am I.
Yeah. And lastly, it was announced that John Jones is moving up to heavyweight. I know at one point when he was at light heavyweight, there was some traction there and some trash talk, and a lot of people were maybe hoping of a potential fight between you two. With this news, do you kind of see that possibility as kind of dwindling down, or do you still have that in mind that potentially one day you guys can throw down?
Nope, still have that in mind. That's still part of my plan. But just ask you this: how many years has John Jones been in the UFC?
Long time.
Exactly, and he only just moved up in weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why would he or anyone else expect me to move up in weight when I just got the belt, rather than defend my belt like he has and create a legacy before jumping up in weight? So I'm sticking to my plan. I'm never gonna let anyone make me fold or make a move ahead of schedule, and I'm sticking to that plan.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will take the next questions from Guy Havelt with One News.
Hey, Israel, thanks for doing this. Just
All
on
good.
that signing stuff, how much of that do you have to do on like a
Uh,
daily or weekly basis?
Weekly not so much, but this is for a company, Tops Cards. These can I get a give me a just to show them an example of one of the Tops cards. So this is
Nice.
the ones I sign on the cards, but then some of these ones I sign on the sticker that they put on. That's the other version. But yeah. So it's this is just work.
And if you don't mind me asking as well, you've been quite outspoken, I suppose, about racism in New Zealand. There's a lot of racism, I suppose, around America and a lot of issues there. Do you, I suppose, in a walkout to a fight or anything like that, do you use it as an advantage to kind of take a stand against that sort of thing? We've seen it in the NFL and in the NBA and that sort of thing. Do you use?
No, well, I do that in my life every day. I'm a walking poster for it because I've experienced it, you know. So I don't when I'm working, I'm working. Yeah, and I understand like guys like Ali, one of the greatest human beings of all time, not just athletes, human beings of all time, takes a stand against shit like that. And I've done that in my own way. But yeah, I observe first, and I don't want to react lately. Like lately, I respond rather than react. That's something that the world can learn from. Respond, don't react, because that's what they want. They want you to react so you can act, and they can have an excuse to, you know.
You spend a lot of just lastly from me. You spend a lot of time in America. Does it sadden you what you see almost weekly these days over there in the news?
Yep, 100%. Like sometimes I have to. I don't watch the news to be honest, but like sometimes I just log out of my Instagram and I put my phone away, and when that itch comes back and I go check it, I'm like, oh, I've logged out, and I remember why because sometimes like when Chadwick Boseman died, you know, rest in peace to the Black Panther. The timeline was just sad, constantly. It was just sad, and then two other unarmed black men got killed, and it gets posted and retweeted and stuff like that. And you have to look after your energetic space and tune out from stuff like that once in a while, and then you can tune back in. You can't just be involved. If not, you'll drown in misery and sorrow. So you have to cleanse yourself from those kind of things and then get back to fighting the good fight.
Good man. Appreciate your honesty. Thanks, mate.
All good.
We will take the next questions from Ezekiel Berganzi with Super Luchas.
Hello, Israel. How are you?
I'm very well. What's up, Ezekiel?
Fine. My first question is, you faced almost all the big names in the middleweight division. Paulo Costa, it could be the last. So, what do you think about that? All about your resume in your UFC career so far?
I think for a guy who jumped in just over 2 years ago and became a champion and defended his belt twice already, I'm not doing too bad. I'm not doing too bad. My resume is pretty tight, but to be honest, I look at a guy like Anderson Silva's resume and I want to clean that. Like that's something I definitely want to like dust. But if I don't, because of unforeseen circumstances, in life we'll see. But that's something I'm not done. I'm far from done. I've only been here like 2 years. Man, you guys aren't even seen the best of me yet.
And one interesting thing that you said is that the legacy, not talking about the legacy. Do you think that fighters are looking too much now for a prize fight or super fight or jumping about divisions?
I think so. And that's why I didn't. And that's why someone asked me before about John Jones jumping up to heavyweight. And I said, well, he's been in the UFC damn near over 10 years and he's only just jumping up to heavyweight. And everyone's expecting me to do it after 2 years. It's like, dude, I want to do what got me to the dance because the division was held up for so long. So I want to do what got me to the dance and just keep fighting in my division and defending my belt and creating that legacy, and then you jump up along the way, like the way a guy like Anderson Silva did.
And today was a couple of hours ago the UFC Media Day between Michelle Waters and Angela Hill, and she is the first African American woman to
Hmm.
headline an UFC event. So, what do you think about all these achievements for black athletes in this particular year that black athletes are really taking a stand against racism, like the NBA players? What do you think about all this context and you being such an important figure now for black people and sports in general?
I think it's dope. I think athletes, not just black athletes, but every athlete should take a stand against what's happening right now in the world, not just with racism, but fuck, there's racism's been around for so long.
Mhm.
We've always known about it, but there's shit we don't know about that we're just finding out about that's gonna come out, and it's interesting watching the way this the best TV show to watch right now for me is Earth. The Earth right now is a very interesting TV show, but I'm grateful to be in New Zealand enjoying it. It's still fucked up just watching what's happening, but like I said, I'm grateful to be in New Zealand enjoying the show.
And my last question is about a show. Today I finished The Last Airbender again. So, if you, since you're a big fan too, if you have to
Of
compare,
Avatar.
yeah, if you have to compare a fight from Avatar to this one that
Ooh,
you are having soon,
ooh.
which one will you compare to?
Fuck, that's a good question. That's a good question. If I had to compare, hold up. If I had to compare a fight, uh, damn, I want to say, I want to say Toph. Toph's introduction when she was fighting in the tournament, when she was the blind bandit and she was fighting in underground tournaments, how she was just smoking everyone. That's how I feel this fight's gonna look, just easy.
Thank you very much and good luck on your fight.
Cool, thank you.
We will take the next question from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
We talked about this fight a while ago before it was made, and we knew how big this fight was going to be. And you talked about where you wanted it to be and the magnitude of it. Is there a small part of you disappointed that there isn't going to be an audience there, that there isn't going to be a crowd there to kind of react to this fight?
No, I think it's perfect to be honest. I think it's happening the way it's supposed to happen. Keep going. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think it's perfect. It's it's unforeseen circumstances, but I think it's perfect.
You mentioned stylistically you compared this to Anderson and Vitor, but in terms of magnitude, this feels like a really, really big fight. Like outside of the John Jones questions, we're not really talking about what comes next for you because the magnitude of this fight is so big. We're not saying, what about this guy or what about that guy? Do you feel that going into this fight, the magnitude of this one just feels bigger?
No, not really. I'm glad it's feeling that way because that translates to pay-per-view dollars or streaming buys. But nah, no, I've kind of like been. I haven't even posted much training footage, so people think I'm sure I haven't really trained for this fight, which they're welcome to. But yeah, I'm just kind of focused on just life and other shit rather than just this for this fight.
In terms of matchup, a lot of people look at this fight and think it's a technical striker against a brawler, a technical guy against a very aggressive guy. And I know you talked about, picking apart and seeing a lot of ways you can beat Paulo Costa, but you still have to be, you have to be aware of a guy like that, like him throwing those haymakers and things like that. Even though
Hmm.
technically you're the more sound fighter, you still have to be aware of that.
100%. Like I said, he's a dangerous man. I said that just before as well. He's a dangerous man, but so am I. And what's gonna be his downfall is his his lacklusterness when it comes to me. He thinks like, oh, he's just gonna walk through whatever I throw at him. All right, I welcome him to try.
And
Oh, sweet.
last thing from me, you
Two
mentioned
more.
you mentioned your legacy and the things you're doing, in this sport. You mentioned Anderson Silva. I'm sure you've heard Anderson probably having his retirement fight at the end of October. I know as a guy you respected a lot when you fought him.
Mm.
What would it mean to you to be able to kind of approach those kind of records and do the kind of things that Anderson did and top those in your career?
It's history. That'll be special. That is what I'm aiming for. He is the greatest middleweight of all time so far. But now I'm here, and I fought him, and I've beat him, and I'm racking up my own XP points for my legacy, and it's been an honor, man, watching him do his thing. And I'm glad Uriah Hall stylistically, that's a dope fight to have a lot. I thought I would have been a good send off for him, like I said. He brought me to the game, so I would have taken him out. But um, Uriah Hall's a dope send off fight stylistically for him. It'll be beautiful to watch. I hope they both bring it.